I started by making The Legend of Zelda in JavaScript, but then I wondered, why isn't Mario in any top-down adventure games? I mean, he does fine in every other style of game. What would be different? Why wouldn't it work? So I set off on my own adventure, The Legend of Mario. First, I needed to create a world. Then added layers for doors, collisions, foreground, and other things. Tile made a lot of things easy that I thought would be very difficult. I quickly learned I couldn't just create one replica of the Legend of Zelda map. To say things got crowded would be a little bit of an understatement. So instead I went with Inspired by Hyrule, and it still has the same vibe. It works out pretty well, and it's at a much larger scale, so I can kind of do my own thing. Once I had somewhere to go, I had enemies that I needed to put in. I chose these guys. I didn't want to use Zelda enemies, they would have seemed out of place with Mario, especially with the art style. A couple of these guys walk on land, and one shoots fireballs from the water. To be fair, my enemies are pretty dumb. I'm not a game designer, and AI is hard. But they do the job. The two enemies that walk around are pretty easy to take care of. The one from the water is really OP. I mean, he is completely unfair. Now that we have enemies, things can start getting interesting. Mario has a life bar that's made out of emoticons, which is really cool and easy because I didn't really have to do any art. I just kind of got them given to me by HTML. Now on to attacks for Mario. I wasn't about to give him a sword. And Super Mario RPG had a hammer. Could have worked. But I think I wanted a little bit more of an iconic attack. That's it, the jump. That's the ticket. In Link's Awakening you could kind of jump, but that was really only an item, and it was a little bit different. I wanted Mario to be able to jump all the time and actually attack enemies with it. Technically, making Mario jump is pretty easy, but it's really easy to lose a player on a top-down perspective. I mean, it's more than a little disorienting. Not to mention collision detection gets a little funky. But then I had a great idea. What about a shadow? It seems like an unimportant detail, but it's also super helpful. Now that I can run collision detection against the shadow, not the body, I can see where my character is, and I can also do collision detection so I'm not jumping over walls that I shouldn't be jumping over. With the jump working, that's a great mix of offense and defense. Mario probably needs something a little bit more long range. Link has a candle, which creates fire. Mario has fireballs, a mix of the sword beam, and a long time Mario power. This implementation's not perfect, but it was pretty easy. Now it's time for something a little bit more special. Maybe we need Toad. Classy. The Legend of Zelda isn't the only action RPG out there. The Secret of Mana did this too. So why not add some flair? That's right, a non-playable character. Luigi! Just a reskin of Mario. Gave him the same poop AI we gave the enemies though. Still kind of awesome. That could be the end. But what would a boss look like? Introducing Bowser. Now that seems terrifying. He spawns, he laughs at you, and then he grows 4 times the size and starts attacking you. Seems like a decent first boss attempt. Again, probably not balanced, but awesome. If you made it this far, make sure you like and share while you're down there. It's appreciated. Leave a comment if you think I missed something out that's obvious. Subscribe if you want to see the next project. Before you leave, you should check out Chris's courses. He does an amazing job with some free tutorials creating games in JavaScript. He walks you from zero to hero. He has examples of fighting games, Pokemon, and some other really cool ones too. Check him out and keep learning.